Hi everybody, it's Katie, and today I am going to be doing a review on Bloodline by Claudia Gray, which is a prequel novel to the Star Wars The Force Awakens movie. This review is going to contain spoilers. It is going to contain spoilers for the entirety of the Star Wars series. It's going to contain spoilers for The Force Awakens, and it's definitely going to contain spoilers of what happened. This story, Bloodline, takes place 6 years before The Force Awakens. At this point, Princess Leia is Senator Leia, and she is thinking about ending her time in the Senate office. But as she comes to this conclusion, a independent world that is not in the New Republic comes seeking help. The New Republic is split into two separate sections, which is the Populace and the Centralists. Populace wants each individual world to be able to have their own rules and regulations with this assisting body of government, where the Centralist wants all the planets to have all same unity, all the same laws, where this overlaying government has complete control over that. The Populists don't like that because that reminds them a little bit too much of the Empire, where Palpatine was in control, and they are trying to avoid that. This independent world that is not part of the New Republic comes in seeking for help. There is a new crime lord coming out, and they're just causing trouble all over the place. That is just blowing up. Oh gosh, it's an independent world. It's not our duty to protect them. It's not our duty or job to help them. We need to consider about what's going on here, and there's no independent crime here. And with that, Princess Leia does her, and steps up and says, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to look into this. Since she is a populace, she is faced with the rebuttal of the Centralists. Everyone is just fighting her. It's really tough, really hard on her. And then finally, a young junior senator named Ransom steps up and says, you know what, I'll go with her so that we can get both a populist and a centralist point of view on this situation. So she does, and this is the area where Jabba the Hutt used to have control over. And in Star Wars, in the original trilogy, Princess Leia was the one that had killed Jabba the Hutt. She ends up being kidnapped in this book, and she meets the new crime lord, who is honored by her and starts calling her, out of complete respect, Hutt Slayer. There's this interesting power dynamic because now this new warlord is trying to bribe Princess Leia, and she's not going for it. So, and you know, things spiral out of control, and she wishes that she could just go home and spend time with her husband Han Solo, who is off doing speed racers now, and she wishes that she could be with her son Ben Solo, living with Luke, so that they can control the Force within him. If you've watched The Force Awakens, you know that that doesn't work. There is a woman named Cerise who is an old royal of a different planet, and she takes pride in her royalty title. However, no one else does. No one else gives a crap about royalty anymore. It's all senators, and it's a republic. It's not a monarchy. So, back and forth between her and Leia. Leia gives up a honorary throne of sorts so that Cerise can lay claim to it, and she does. And when she goes to lay claim on that honorary throne, she finds that a box that has Leia's name on it, and she learns at that point that Darth Vader is Princess Leia's biological father. This is something that I really didn't think about while watching the movies and, you know, looking on Tumblr and stuff like that. It never came out publicly that Darth Vader had Luke and Leia as kids. So when this happened, like, at first I was like, okay, yeah, Leia, Darth Vader's kid, that's what happens, right? But when Cerise comes back and you learn about her ulterior motives and that she is one of the starters of the First Order. She is trying to convince Ransom to join her side, and she does this by showing Ransom the box that she learns about Leia's true heritage. And this is the part where I really got like, oh my gosh, political scandal, oh my gosh. Because during the Senate, where there's hundreds and hundreds of worlds, Ransom, who Leia had started seeing as a trusted friend, makes the announcement to everyone that she is Darth Vader's child. And she gets shunned, kind of disvalued after that information comes out. And they even start to question Luke Skywalker's authority. But Leia is being Leia, and she doesn't let that stop her. As frustrating and shameful she feels about it, she really doesn't see it as much more than just a hindrance. She finishes her job, she stops the crime lord, and Han Solo comes out and helps her. All in all, I really did enjoy this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, and I really enjoy Claudia Gray's writing. She also wrote Lost Stars, which I have a review to. I will link that in the description down below. And it was a good read, and it explained a lot of things, and it definitely added a little bit more of the already completely depth-filled to the story and of Force Awakens, and it was a really good prequel novel. And I think that the more and more that I'm going to be thinking about this, the more and more I'm going to find that there are other meanings to it. There are a lot of things that were hinted at. Ben was only hinted at a couple times during this book. Gave us the mindset of Leia during this whole entire process, and of the process of sending Ben off to Luke. And it was an interesting perspective to take and to read, and I'm really glad that I did. I read this book in a audiobook style. So all in all, it took about 12 hours, a little over 12 hours to listen to the audiobook. I had a day where I was literally doing nothing, so I sat on my computer and did nothing while the book was going. Leave me in the comment section down below what you thought about this book, what you think that this adds to The Force Awakens. Tell me who your favorite character was in this novel. I'm really interested to see. I really, really liked Ransom, simply because he really did have good intentions, and he was really confused and confronted about a lot of things that were going on, and the fact that he's young, and he was very young when the war happened, but he still remembers the effects that it had on his family. So with all of that being said, that is what I think, and yeah, follow me on all of my different social medias. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Goodreads. I have an email and a website that you can go to contact me as well there, if you so choose. And I will insert a creative outro here. I will talk to you later. Bye!